welcome back to another video, and for today I will be talking about Intense Cafe by Montale. So I do have, Montale is quite close to me because because of their chocolate greedy perfume. That's what introduced me to this brand, and I really enjoy that fragrance. One of the best gourmand that I have and one of the best chocolate fragrance that I have. So when I saw Intense Cafe, I got excited as well because coffee is one of my favorite notes in a fragrance. So my first impression on this is not Intense Cafe, but Intense Rose. It is a rose dominated fragrance, I would say. So if you are a fan of rose, then you'll be happy with this. You might be happy with this fragrance. I said might because it isn't the same as the other rose fragrances. It has like a dark rose scent. It is not like a soft or pleasant rose scent. This one is like a very sweet rose scent, which is good for me because I don't like those rosy, like a fresh rose scent. I don't like them. I like a jammy rose or like a sweet rose, dark rose scent. Those are the type of rose scent that I like, and this one falls in those categories. The scent is actually not that surprising if you're going to base it on the notes because the opening is florals followed by rose and then cafe or coffee. So that means there's more floral. It's possible you'll get more rose than coffee, but if you're going to base on the name Intense Cafe, then you are going to expect more coffee in it, not rose. I'm getting the rose, the coffee in it. But the coffee is more of like just a background of the rose. It is a very sweet coffee scent. It has nothing like because I do have some fragrances that have coffee notes in there, and they almost have just the same DNA, same vibe, such as Black Opium, the Only One by Dolce & Gabbana, almost the same to me. There's also Love by Sophia, but this one is different. Perhaps because of the rose in it. It's the first fragrance that I have that has rose and coffee together. The longer it sits on my skin, the more I got the coffee in it. It actually does remind me of the smell of my kitchen or pantry where I put my coffee machine, like my coffee beans, coffee granules, powder, and like when I open it or when I come to that place, there is like a whiff of like a coffee scent in it. It's like being around that corner or sipping a cup of coffee with like big rose bouquet near me. But the rose in here doesn't smell like a fresh cut rose. It's almost like it reminds me of those red roses that almost like those red real roses that I have that is very dark red, that is almost like rotten already, something like that. It's an old, like has been there for a few days already, and you smell it. It has that strong rose scent. It smells like that to me. It's a bit jammy as well, very sweet dark rose scent. And it smells dry to me, feels dry. It's dusty, more dusty than powdery to me. Reminds me of like hair dry shampoo on my hair. When I spray it, you spray like there are like powder coming out in it, almost like that. Feels like that to me. I like it though. I'm not disappointed, even though it is not an intense coffee that I expected. More of like an intense, strong, dark rose scent. But I do like it. It's sweet, very sweet rose scent, which I like. But I don't think I would love wearing this one during the hot days because, as I mentioned, it's really sweet. I think it would be good for me during colder weather. The rose in here is really dominant though. It's the first thing that I would notice in this fragrance. It is like the coffee in here is just like in a background. If this is a movie, the coffee is just a supporting role, and the main role here is the one that has the main role here is the rose. This should be Intense Rose than Intense Cafe. It lasts long on me as well. It's lasted me all day. It's about 8 hours. Especially on your clothes. It lasts long on your clothes. On my clothes, it reminds me, it feels like I spill a coffee on my clothes and it has been there for like days. Almost smells like that. It dries down into a very sweet. It gets sweeter as it dries down. Very sweet vanilla and musky scents. More musky to me, as I've mentioned. It's also quite dusty than a powder scent to me. And there is another scent that I'm picking up in this, aside from all these sweet notes in there, sweet scent or rose scent in there. There is a bit like a light, fresh floral scent, but it's almost not there. It's barely there, but sometimes there, sometimes not. But it's a little noticeable in it, more like almost like a cologne scent. Perhaps it's those floral notes in there. I'm not sure what type of floral notes they put in there, but it just says floral notes, so perhaps those are the ones. So far, I like it though. I'm not disappointed with the scent. This is the second Montale fragrance that I have tried, and so far, I love both of them. Montale is also another brand that is quite getting more mixed review, mixed reaction. If you am going to look at most of their reviews, it mostly like hit and miss fragrances, especially for this one. Like the name is kind of confusing, Intense Cafe, so you will be expecting more of like for me, I'm expecting more like a sweet coffee or a milky coffee scent instead of rose. But good thing I like it. That's why I'm also scared to blind buy their fragrances. I'm just glad that I found a sample. So that's it for today's video, Montale's Intense Cafe. Thank you for watching and see you again next time.